Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Reasonable Contractor podcast. My name is Ryan Templin. I'm the Reasonable Tech Dad, and I'm excited for our guest today. You should be too. I've known this man for 25 years. I've known him for 15 professionally, and we're going to find out together why he's in the contractor business now. But I can tell you for sure that he is a very good businessman, and he carries himself with integrity, and he closes deals, and that's because he understands people. So I'm sure he's got some very good things to say, and I'm all ears, Sergio. If you want to, Sergio Pena, ladies and gentlemen, with Renewal Experts Construction. Take it away, sir. Tell us how you got into the contracting business.
Hey Ryan, thanks for having me. So I got in the contracting business in 2021 due to some life changes, and I had to become a full-time dad to my two kids very, very quickly. And I had to figure out something where I didn't have to work retail anymore because I was in finance, as you know, with Lexus, which is nights and weekends and crazy retail hours, and that just doesn't work when you're raising two kids on your own at that point of time. And I started out flipping houses. I flipped a few houses, very distressed, rundown properties, and people saw what I was doing, taking these very rundown homes and making them look awesome. And that turned into a lot of messages saying, "Hey, I saw you did with that kitchen. Hey, I saw you did with that bathroom. Can you do mine? Like, I don't have a house to flip, but I need a bathroom done." And before you know it, we're a full-scale construction company now.
God, that's so cool, dude. So then you had the word of mouth. Has that carried you the entire time? How do you get customers? That's always a good question to start with. Is like, how do you get customers, and then what separates you when you're winning the deals?
Um, we're all word of mouth. I have no socials, no website, and we have 13 active projects going on at once right now. My
Damn.
theory has always been the biggest compliment a person can get, no matter what industry you're in, is a referral. And at the end of every project, I make sure to walk through with the customer, make sure to do all the quality control, and just stand on business when we start a project. Be there when we say we're going to be, finish when we say we're going to be done. I always under promise and over deliver on that because you never know what surprises come up. And people understand if things drag on because of unforeseen circumstances. But
Do people
it's
though? Not
just,
to cut you off. I mean, I feel like some people do, and I obviously am not a contractor myself, but I talk to enough. I'm tied to the industry a little bit. I feel
Mhm.
like that's commonplace if you know, but if you don't know. So is that your experience that people do understand the fluctuating timelines?
It's all about how you communicate it.
No doubt.
So, you know, I use the example, and I learned this from a mentor of mine a long time ago. If we're riding in a car together and you hate country music, and I just turn the station to country music, you're going to be like, what the heck, man? I don't
Right.
like country. But if I say to you, hey, Ryan, do you mind if I turn it to country music? And then I turn it to country, you're not going to care as much. So if you prepare a customer ahead of time for delays before it even happens preemptively, they're not going to be surprised and caught off guard. And if anything, it mitigates the anger. It's all painful conversations, but again,
Of
it's
course it
just
is.
prep and delivery. That's it.
And I think often, regardless of what industry you're in, it's understanding people and just like you're saying, right? So with the car example, there's a pre-understanding that they don't like country music, right? And so that's you understanding people. Like I said, like, dude, you just some and it's surprising how infrequent you see it in some industries. You know what I mean? I don't can't speak to the people you're bidding against, but like understanding when you communicate those fluctuations about how to do it, like you're saying, is fantastic, dude.
Yeah, and
Makes all the sense on
it's
why you're getting the word of mouth.
it's common in every industry. It's not just unique to constructions. The businesses we've been in, it's all kind of the misfits, right? Construction, subcontracting,
Right
sales,
on.
car sales, the gym business. So there's a reason why uh
We're a
the
little more
misfits
rough
go
around the
there.
edges. We're rough around the
Yeah.
edges.
Yeah, but you can refine that, man. A diamond starts out rough and dirty too, but you just got to polish it.
It's about focus, right? And getting people on that
Yeah.
kind of mission. Like, so when you're talking about it, I think about this no matter what I'm doing is like, we're we're offering value, right? Like we want to help these people. And if you can keep that focus, a lot of those kind of habits or those practices from wherever your background is, it can point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
So then what do you think when you're showing up to folks' place right now? Is it when you say it's word of mouth, tell me more about the scope of your guys' work. Like you talked about doing water damage, stuff like that. That's an emergency situation. So give me the rundown on somebody that calls about an emergency. How many people do they call? Or are they calling you and they're like, oh shit, I need somebody now and I need you to do this and here's my money?
I don't know how many people they call. Typically when there is uh, a washed out basement because of a burst pipe, because of a faulty foundation, they just pick up the, sorry, I'm outside.
Oh,
They
good.
just
Go ahead.
uh pick up the phone and call the first person, and if it's me, we're responding. Because at that moment, I know how they feel. I know that it's stressful that your basement is flooded. So I'll give them just baseline instructions to do it over over the phone, and then we'll be there within the next 6 hours to get all the water out, get the dry out going, cut out the sheetrock, take out the carpet. We are scaled to do all the emergency services. So that's been a pretty big success for us.
No doubt. How do you balance the schedule for something like that? Responding to emergencies when you got, how many ever many jobs you said was it 13,
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what project metric you used there when you use that number, but how do you balance that out? If you're lined out for 3 weeks and somebody calls with that emergency thing, do you have crew? How do you adjust for those kind of issues?
Yeah, it's all about the team and the crew. Without my team and crew, we would be nothing. And that took a long time to build. I started this in August of 2021, and I have created and ended a lot of working relationships with, like we said, the misfits in the business. But now we are set. I have a fantastic team, a fantastic crew, and I would be nothing without them. So that's what it's all about,
And
finding the right people.
your attitude, it reflects the kind of team you build with that standard that you're setting, right? Because
Yeah,
it's not some big fucking ego thing. Oh, it's me and I do this shit, which I've seen in the contracting industry. You know what I mean?
right, right.
It's my show. It's my name on the truck. So you guys are going to do what I say when I say it, and the fly off the handle types. It sounds like you're on a much different level than that. And that's probably why your team operates the way it does. Um, so you just have people available. They make that call and people, like you'll have somebody on a job that goes responds, or is it always you that responds to customer calls?
It depends on the situation. So I have a team available, like when work needs to be done, like it's an emergency, get here now, I have people for that. If it's somebody saying, "Hey, I think I have a leak, can you come take a look?" That's typically me that goes out there and just does the discovery documentation, photos, and then either sends them an estimate or starts work right away. But if there's work to be done, I'll call the crew in and they take care of business as per usual.
Nice, very nice. How about that firing piece? You said you started and ended a number of business relationships. That's something that's hard for people, I think, firing people. And I think that it's critical. I don't know. You tell
Yeah.
me. I haven't done it as much of it as you. And I think you maybe have experience before coming into contracting that made you comfortable with that. You tell me.
Yeah, almost. I would say I have almost 20 years of management experience from all it's not, I didn't have a ton of jobs. I probably only had about 4 or 5 jobs, I think, my entire life. So, but 20 years of managing experience, a lot of mistakes, a lot of failures has taught me a lot on to know the red flags, But in this industry, in every industry I've ever been in, I will say this. I would rather manage a person that's a little bit of a wild card but has high production than a person that has low production is just a good person. Just a good person with low production is just going to kill your business. You
You
want
need the
a,
killers, man. You need the dogs to go get it. I think,
yes,
anyway.
correct,
It's
correct.
fantastic, dude. And I say dogs in the term of people that are ready to get after it every day, to bring the energy,
Yeah,
that mindset,
yeah,
right? Like
yep,
it's not just you. It's dependent. Like when you said all the team things, we're doing this for a reason. The business has a purpose. We're serving a community, especially in your case.
correct. Yep.
Serving somebody that's in emergency. I just went through that, a couple years ago. I asked because I wanted to hear your part first, but I woke up to water in my basement, 2 years ago, and it's been a nightmare. It's been a nightmare.
Stressful.
It's super stressful. And you're talking about, like you got kids, you wake up. It's not like I'm just hanging out in the morning, Like I got a tight schedule to get kids to daycare and all this. And I got water downstairs right now. So
Yeah.
I called somebody right that second. And whoever could get there first, they were the guy. Like, yeah, get out here. I'm not even asking questions. I don't want to know. Get this water
Yeah.
taken care of. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
Yep.
gosh, I wish it was that simple, dude. That'd be another good thing to hear what you think. Like, how do you deal with the challenges? I mean, I'm sure the list is endless because water, if people have not dealt with water damage in any situation before, water is relentless. Water is, there's so few things. If water is in, like, if water wants to get somewhere, it's going there. And it's
Yeah.
hard to control in a environment like a house where it's been sealed. So, what
hmm
kind of challenges do you see that are common between jobs? Not like the super edge cases, but like standard. This is hard, but we can handle it.
Um, I guess are we speaking specifically on water mitigation or just
Whatever the scope of any
overall?
of your jobs, what do you think? Like, what are the challenges for your business for renewal experts that you see kind of common where you're like, yeah, this is going to be tough, but we have a system for it.
I would say the challenges we face, none of them are uncommon. The challenges we face is when, we start a project and we start unpeeling the onion on taking walls apart and uh, just getting deeper into the project and finding new things, and then being able to pivot quickly on things that may arise. We call it construction, not perfection, for a reason. It's
Like
just
that. I
you
like that a
you
lot.
always you always find stuff, and then when you start to know the game, you've been here before, right? You've been here before, act like you've been here before, and when challenges and problems come up, you know, you just have to handle it and deal with it. But I would say specific challenges, the biggest challenges is just, you know, making sure that the area is prepped and ready and the customer knows we're coming. It's the logistics of it all. So our dispatch team does a really good job of that. There's just a lot of moving parts when it comes to big boy construction, making sure the guys are there, making sure the homeowners know, making sure there's quality control, making sure the job site's picked up. But when again, you have a strong team, a good dispatch unit, and guys that have been trained to do things right, things run themselves pretty seamless. With that being said, there's a lot of stress, a lot of things go wrong. We fight,
The
but
truth, the truth.
but
Because it is, it's the truth.
it is
It's not like a restaurant, right? Because I was restaurant for a long time where,
right.
you spill a drink on somebody that's stressful and messy, but like it's not that common. Like customers don't see the true chaos that is. And in construction, I don't think, do they? You tell me, is it similar? Do they see that chaos that you're talking about? But it's things you handle. It's not like it's
Yeah,
something, it's like, oh, there's chaos and homeowners don't know it's a fucking mess down here. It's something that we
yeah.
do and we have systems for. But do they see it? Is it visible to the customer as much as I'm describing or no?
Maybe. I mean, maybe if, they're keen on picking up on the cues and signals of people in general, they see it, but we keep it pretty professional. We don't argue and fight in front of homeowners ever or commercial customers ever. We handle things off to the side.
I think
But,
that's a
you know,
fantastic standard.
yeah.
And making sure
So,
that people know that that's the standard, no matter where your mood's at. Like never.
yeah, but there's fighting, but we could be fighting about how we're stressed and can't get all the work done, or we could be fighting about why don't we have any work? So you just got to choose your hard.
Sure, absolutely. How about the next generation? You got kids, I got kids. What what do the kids need to know about these trades, man? Like you tell me, am I misgauging it if when I say that the trades, when you talk to people in the trades, they're saying that it's you need people. We need more people in the trades. Is that something true in your estimation?
Yeah, I would say for the next generation specifically, if you want to be a millionaire, you need to get into HVAC, plumbing, electric, or be a general contractor. It's not for everybody. Being an entrepreneur isn't for everybody, but they have the biggest opportunity out of everybody to be extremely successful in their career because the mom and pop and the dad that started the plumbing company 30 years ago, they're all retiring, and a lot of their children aren't picking up the trade.
No, they're
And
not.
I see that, and again, this is a huge opportunity for the next generation coming up in the construction business. Pick up a trade and master it, and you'll be extremely successful because people don't want to do it. The next generation of children of whose parents are in the trade aren't doing it. They have no interest.
No, they have no interest. And I think a piece I've been thinking about this question a lot, and I think that one way to try to frame it for kids that are coming up, it's like, look, it's not about liking it. It's not like when you're playing with your friends and doing playing video games or something fun. It's not like that, but what it is fulfilling. And if you don't understand that yet, it's something that's challenging, but like you said, we handle it, so you can do it. And that gives you a lot of power and a lot of confidence to move forward as a competent member of society. And I
Right.
think that in the digital age, as an AI guy, I think that's going to, a lot of the skills that a lot of people think about on a computer, some of that's going to be commoditized a little bit. And it's not going to take work. It's going to augment that work. But I think that there should be some movement into the trades, not only because of the people retiring and we need it, but like, I think that it's just a good thing for kids. Like, for your next birthday, your next Christmas, ask for a set of tools and then ask your parents if there's somebody that can show you how to use them. Is that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, if I were to come to you today and be like, hey, my kid's 10 and he wants to learn how to use a hammer, and I'm a computer geek. I don't know how to, I've been on electrical, I got my electrical background, but like, wouldn't you be enthusiastic to say, yeah, come here, let me help you?
Of course. And it's not even about just teaching them that, it's just spending the time with the children. Your children, is the most important part. But, teaching them how to do different trades or like build things or just make something silly, make like a box, just get out in the garage and start playing with tools. It is super important because once they learn that, if they learn that and take the career serious, I'm telling you, man, they're going to be able to name their price in about 10
That's
years.
everybody that's in the industry says that. They're like, you could just bank it and it won't be hard. It won't be a struggle. Like, you get the tools down and you like, there's very few people I know that like know how to use hand tools and whatever
Right.
application they're using where they're like, nah, I don't like doing this shit. Like, no, using your hands is cool, man, and working hard on stuff is cool. Being
Yeah.
physically engaged while you're earning your income is fantastic. So
Yeah.
that was good insight, man. What do you got? We got 20 minutes in. You feeling good? You just want to mention where people can find you, contractors that want to work with you based on how you do things. If homeowners are watching this, where can we find you?
Yeah. So, like I said, I don't have socials or a website. I'm all word of mouth. So if you want to reach me, you can reach me by cell. My number is 763-381-9299, 763-381-9299, or you can email me, and it's my first name, Sergio at renexp.net is my email.
There we go. Renewal Experts Construction, Sergio. Dude, I
Yeah.
know we haven't talked much lately. This was amazing. Thank you for coming
Yeah.
on and making it happen.
Yeah.
I'll let
Thanks
you
for
get
having
back.
me.
I'll let you get back to the workday. Go get some shit done, dude. Talk to you later.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Appreciate you.
Later.